Hey guys, we are back with what's sold in our online business. This is my beautiful wife Linda. I'm Cameron. We're going to go over what sold online for the weekend. These are sales from Friday through Sunday. We like to buy stuff at garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, auctions, wherever we can find it, trash piles. Those are usually free, but buy it for a low cost or acquire it for a low cost and then sell it hopefully for more online to the right buyer for a profit. Not everything ends up being a good buy. Some end up being huge home runs. We're going to go over what a weekend of sales looks like for us. We do this part-time. She has a part-time job. I have a full-time job. We're able to manage this, and then it helps, keep the lights on here and just give us a little more in life than what our normal jobs do. So let's get into it. The first, we sell on 4 or 5 platforms now. We sell Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace with shipping, eBay, and then she's a little Amazon too. But today we only have sales in 3, or this weekend in 3 platforms. So how did we do on the numbers?
So we got just under 1205 for 43 sales across 3 platforms. So
yep. Starting off,
we'll start with Mercari. We sold a pair of Azure Cold Rush Cold Therapy little connectors, and those sold for $15 plus shipping.
We sell these little connectors all the time on Mercari. You're not really supposed to sell them on eBay. They go to those like knee therapy machines. We just pull off the connectors and we'll sell the pads and stuff separately on Mercari, and we end up making some money, so it works out.
And then we'll go to Facebook, which is this pack of 3, or it's the set of 3, the Lord of the Rings DVDs.
Yeah, they're DVDs.
DVDs?
There's extended edition DVDs.
Oh, there you go. And those sold for $27 plus shipping on Facebook.
And the cool thing is these have been on eBay for a while. I think they're listed at $30 on eBay, and they're already on sale for 10% off right now, but I think they've been up for a while. Usually I can get about $30 for them pretty easy on eBay, but for whatever in this batch hasn't sold. So I put them on Facebook Marketplace just for a couple days that they've been up, and someone already bought it. And even before someone bought it, someone had asked me about it. Hey, are these still available? I know that doesn't mean anything, but it was weird that I had interest, and then it sold for more money on Facebook than on eBay. Not that happens all the time.
Sitting there, yeah.
Yeah, we usually, when we put on Mercari, Facebook, and Poshmark, we leave our eBay price, plus we're adding shipping. Only reason is we're pretty good at eBay. We know how the system works, so we can figure out the shipping is pretty easy for us. On Mercari and some of the other platforms, we get lowballed sometimes. Yeah. So by leaving the shipping on there plus our price, we have a little room to possibly negotiate and get to that eBay price anyways. Plus on Posh, fees are higher. Facebook fees are actually even lower. I think like 5 or something %. So that was cool.
Facebook's got the lowest fees.
Cross-posting is one of those things where it's easy not to do it. So I try to focus on spending some time every week cross-posting some items to just get them on their platforms. Now we'll go to eBay. This is our big one here. Our, a big money maker, I guess, of all the platforms. Our main, our favorite child. And how did we do?
First up, we've got a pair of Georgia Tech patches. So Cameron bought a bunch of patches for $5, and we've been selling these like hotcakes.
Yeah.
So a lot of the schools, the colleges have been selling, which has been nice. And those sold for $9 and some change.
Yep. I think we're going to see another visit from the patch buy here pretty soon.
Yeah. Next up, we have a Hanes manual out of the Hanes manual buy. This is for the Lincoln, and that one sold for $17.
And if you see, Linda's blowing air on herself because she's super hot.
It is so hot,
you can see this little thing.
Sorry.
She can't deal with the heat. She's not meant for
It's so
outside.
bad.
Some of us can handle a little bit better. Anyways.
He's born in Florida, okay?
Next item.
Next up, we have a 4-pack of smoke alarms. This is by... Is our brand? Code 1.
Yeah.
And that 4-pack sold for $27 shipped.
Those are from Linda's grandma. She had them and never used them. They were in a big pile of her stuff. She was going to throw it, donate it, and I took them out of there and made some money. So.
Oh, grandma. Then next up we have Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds on 3DS, sorry, and that one sold for $20 shipped, and that's just the game.
This was $5. Just bought it this past weekend.
Then we have a Blu-ray. This is Peanuts Holiday Special. In that pile, and this one sold for $18 shipped. People are getting ready for the holidays already.
Yeah, I figured this one would sell. It's 3 movies. Some people really like to watch the Peanuts on the holidays, so I figured for $1, it's worth it, and it paid off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
And
That's
those are
nice.
the ones people want to watch.
Okay, and then next up we have a lot of 14 Tony Hillerman books. 2 of them are hardcover, and the rest of them are paperback.
You'll see them on the screen.
So those sold for almost $53 shipped.
I want to say I pay like $1 a piece for those or less. So,
that's nice. So 14 bucks maybe. Next up we have an Apple Watch, the magnetic USB charger, and that one sold for $12 shipped.
I got an Apple Watch box from my main source, and this was still in there. and he's like, you can have
Sucks
it.
for that person.
So I decided to part it out, sell the watch box separately, and got this sold right away. So I'm a buck in for the whole unit and already got my money back.
Then $700 manual buy. We have a Honda S2000 ETM sold for $35 shipped.
Not a huge visit from the manual buy. It was a little slow for manuals
Yeah,
this
it was.
weekend, which is okay because we still did. Oh, I forgot what the number was already, but we did okay this weekend.
Yeah. Then next up we have this Cuisinart. This is the large 14 cup work bowl replacement. This is from one of our local thrift stores.
This is the one I paid up for.
Oh, the big one, the new bowl.
65 bucks or something for a whole unit. It was a newer kitchen, Cuisinart.
And this piece sold for $52. So
we sold over $100 and something already. We're probably more than double in sales, and I still have pieces left. So we paid up for that one, and it has paid off.
There we go. Next up, we have an Army camo combat uniform. This is the blouse. It is the large something.
Short, probably.
Large short, probably, yeah. And that sold for 40 and a half.
I think I'm $10 into that one. So
then next
it
up,
was new with tags.
Out of the $80 PS2 buy, which is Cameron purchased a bunch of PS2 games, and there was some Xbox in there, and
PS1 and some other, maybe a GameCube, I don't remember. Mostly
something
PS2
like that.
and Xbox. So.
But we got Mortal Kombat Deception out of that, and that sold for $15 shipped.
Yeah, there was one game already sold for $40, and I think another one for $20, and a couple of lower dollar games. But overall, it was pretty good. There was a couple of good things in there.
Next up, we have a Game Boy game. This is Herbs Sims in the City. Sold for $25 shipped for just the game.
And this was in the death pile. So this is a game that when I put it in there, I didn't think it must have been worth anything, and it sold right away for that price. So.
All right, next up, out of the $150 anime buy, this is E's Otherwise Complete Collection, and this one sold for $16 shipped.
You just dropped something.
Well, there goes that profit. Next up, we've got Metro Last Light for Xbox 360, and that one sold for just under
heard of this game.
$10 shipped.
It did sell.
Then we've got, out of Hirsch Numero Dos, we've got Bookworm for DS, sold for $15 shipped. That one's cute. I think you can get the app of that one too.
Looks like a little crossword type thing or something.
Next up, Cameron's got a bunch of these. They haven't been selling like crazy.
We sold like 3. We got these from Storage Unit Guy one time, but it's been a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of Coca-Cola stuff, but I don't know if it's marked, but
no.
Got a bunch of Coca-Cola stuff, and then these NFL guys are little, what are they called? End runners. We didn't have them all, but this is a Bears one. We had like Saints and a couple other different ones. Like maybe 8 of them. But this one sold for?
This one sold for almost $30 shipped. It is from 1993.
So if you do like football, you might want to check the store. We might have some of these for your team. I don't know. We don't have a ton left, but
get ready for the new season.
Yep. Who doesn't need an end runner?
Exactly. Next up, this is a Build-A-Bear. This is a Promised Pets. This is the Spotted Kitty, and he sold for $28 shipped, and he does still have his tag.
The funny thing was, somehow this was listed, and it just had the. What is that?
You tied him up.
Oh, I think it's because you can like walk his butt. No. Weird. But the thing about this was it was listed and it only had the letter K as the title or G or something. Like it must have been an error on my part, and someone messaged me and said, I think your title's messed up. And because it just said like a letter. So I must have like backspace and something. So yeah, they told me that was cool. They corrected me on that.
Next up, we have a New Era San Jose Sharks hockey hat, and that one sold for just
cool
under
graphic on the front there.
$27 shipped. Then we have one of these that's been sitting here for a minute. This is an Atwood Marine fold-down solar light, I think.
All around we had a bunch of these from Walmart. They were on the Walmart clearance for I think $3. I think I got 4 or 5 of them. So retail arbitrage, and this one sold for
$27.50 shipped.
Yeah, we sold them all for around 23 to 27. So we ended up making like $5 to $10 depending on the shipping. The problem is it's a little bit big.
Next up, out of our local Angel View thrift stores, one of ours, is a set of Fisher Price Little People Red fences.
Oh, that's wrong. That's not from Angel View. No, yes it is. Yes it is from Angel View. Yes. Okay, this is what I got. I remember now. Go ahead.
This set of 12 pieces is the zoo pieces, so each one has like a cute little zoo animal on it, and some of them are duplicates, but that's okay. And somebody purchased them for $25 for the set.
Maybe they're not from Angel. I don't remember. They're from Angel View when I got that Tails. I think that's where they're from.
The
when,
bag. Yeah,
when they're with the he was with the Tails. When I bought a whole bag of toys for one toy. It was $10, and I bought it because there was a Tails toy.
And we're not talking like a bag. We're talking like
huge
bag.
bag.
It was one of those mattress bags.
Yeah, and the figure was this big. I saw him, and then I go, oh, he's a little bit bigger, like this.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was like
little.
6 inches.
Okay, you're a guy.
Six. No, but he was not that big compared to what the bag was. And I just saw him, and I go, oh, I know the Sonic stuff is selling like crazy. Spend $10. He sold for like $60.
Yeah, he did.
Like right away. And then this was in there, and we sold it for what did you say? 25. So I don't know. It might go first class. It's not too heavy, but either way, that's all extra because I didn't buy it for that. That was just in there.
Yeah, Cameron had to take him away from our son. So
next, make me out to be a horrible dad.
No.
Wait, I didn't bring that book over. I literally grabbed it. Okay, well, there's a book. I'll go get it. You can talk about it.
And next up out of the Hirsch numero uno buy is this International Bible. It's the Commentary New International Version from 1986, and it sold for almost 15 and a half.
Books can be long tail. Let's just say that. Sometimes they sit for a while.
That's why I like selling on Amazon, books on Amazon, because it tells you that rank number, and you can base that on how long it's going to take.
With eBay, you can do the 90-day sold or whatever, but at the same time, sometimes on eBay, you just never know. You know, like 3 could sell in the past 90 days, but if there's 10 listed, doesn't mean yours will be the one that sells if it does sell. And then sometimes there's no sales history, and I list something and it sells. Like mine's the first one to sell in like 90 days, even though there's been others listed. So you just never know.
We'll take it. Next up, at the $100 Jazz buy, this is a 4-pack of the Hollywood Edge, the Edge edition, and those sold for $40 shipped. They are sound effects, I guess.
A lot of these are like sounds and different stuff. You could like royalty-free stuff. We had a bunch of these in the Jazz buy. I guess the guy was doing some music, and we sold a couple different sets of this kind of stuff already. People do buy it.
The other one was like rap or something like that.
No, it had all different kinds. It had rap beats. It had like Indian beats.
Oh, and the drum ones from India, and stuff, yeah.
Like different drums from different cultures, and it had like reggae type stuff, and it's all the background sound you could add to some kind of a music.
One. You could have made a.
Probably, but I'm all about the money.
Then out of the PS2, 80...
I just don't. If you guys know, I don't put a lot of time in editing. I just don't have the time. So what you get, what you see is what you get. I don't have time like the big YouTubers to. I barely get this done.
Yeah, it's true.
Next.
Then out of $80 PS2 buy, we got Dark Cloud, and that one sold for $13 shipped.
Dark Cloud 2 sells a little better.
We'll skip that one until we find it. Next up, we have an Infinity foot pedal. This sold for $22.39.
Yeah, we sold a bunch of these. I got them all for like $20 or.
We had a lot of them.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them, and we've sold through most of them. Most of them sold for about $20 to $25.
Next up, we have a Barbie Fashionista. This is the Sweetheart Stripes Curvy doll. The packaging is severely damaged.
And this is in the listing. So.
Yeah.
But you can see she's a little more curvaceous.
She's the curvy doll.
Some of us like more curvaceous women.
And that sold for $22.50 shipped.
They're trying to represent everybody, right?
Yeah. Then next up we have an Auric XL vacuum brush attachment, sold for $16 and some change.
This is the $5 Auric stuff. We sold 2 sets already for like $20 and $21, and then this was the last piece. It didn't sell for too great. We won't make a ton, but the other Auric stuff can't sell if you can get it. So.
Then out of the, no, it doesn't say it's out of the.
It is out of that.
Okay, out of the patch buy, we've got this vintage.
Well, the patch buy is not listed as a patch buy. It's just there's no listing for that.
Vintage Exeter Fire Department volunteer patch, and that one sold for $15 shipped.
So yeah, $15 guys. Remember, $5 in all those patches. We have $25 in sales just today. We're probably approaching 200. I should have tracked it. I didn't think it was even going to be as good as it is. But we're probably approaching $150 in sales, maybe.
I don't think you have patches from anything else though. So.
No, I have a couple patches in there that are older.
With the military ones.
Yeah, military.
Yeah.
But these no, I haven't come across them a lot, and when I have bought them, they usually have sold.
Yeah.
So I wish I could find more of these, especially you can find duplicates, multi-quantity. So you buy them, you get 10 of them, like we had with the San Diego State of the Duke.
Stuff, and or like companies that have the college patches, probably for people who get their Letterman's jackets.
Yeah, or
they
like shirts, or they got a hat or whatever, whatever they want to put a patch on. But usually you can make one listing, and if you have 10, 15 of that same patch, They just keep on keeping on, just selling.
Next up, we have a Fisher Price, a 2003 Fisher Price barn with the animal sounds. It does have a few of the pieces with it as well. Some of the animals and the people and the fences.
Yeah. This was $1. The guy gave it to me. He actually tried to give it to my son Zane, who didn't want it. He wanted something else, and the guy gave him that. I said, "Oh, my son doesn't want this, but I'll pay you." And he goes, "It's only $1. Everything's $1." I was like, okay, so I grabbed it for $1 because it was all those pieces, and it sold for
$40 shipped.
And it's in that bucket. We'll take it out of the bucket. That's how it came, but
it's a nice bucket.
$40. It should ship for $15 or $16 probably. We'll make whatever, $10 to $15 on that, easy.
Next, at a Hirsch Numero Dos, we've got a huge lot of Lincoln Logs.
It's 18 pounds of Lincoln Logs.
I think Tori stole one, by the way.
That's okay. There's 18 pounds. And actually, there's more than 18 pounds. That was me. It was over 18, but it's in 2 white trash bags, not fully full of smaller trash bags. He had them all. I just put them in a big pile, pulled out the stuff that wasn't Lincoln Logs as best as I could, took pictures, listed it, and it sold for
$125.
And I took that offer because it's going to California. So nice. It was at $140. I'm like, they offered $110. I counted back at $125 when they saw they were from Cali, because I'm like, I'll give them a discount because I'm going to save on shipping. And sure enough, they accepted. So
there we go. Then next up, we have Uncle Arthur's Bedtime Stories. This is volume 1. Sold for $12 and some change.
You can find like 1 through 5 or whatever it is. These do sell the whole set, but you can also sell them individually.
Then we got a pair of Carhartt work pants, and these are a men's 40-30, and those sold for $23 and some change. Next up, we have a Colgate Navigator toothbrush. Ooh. And that one is
super
vintage,
fancy, you can
sealed,
tell.
and sold for $10 shipped.
Whatever reason, guys, these old toothbrushes, man, people buy them.
No, it doesn't even look that old. Like
it's
that looks
old.
like something you could go grab off the Walmart shelf right now.
They're not even old. This is like from the 2000s, probably.
But the problem is, like that guy was saying the other night, 20 years is vintage.
Yeah.
So this year, 2002 is vintage.
I don't know anymore.
That's horrible.
You're getting old. That's the way life works.
Hey. Watch
you are getting old.
Next up, out of
my favorite sale of the whole weekend, guys. Not because it's the highest dollar, but because we were at Salvation Army on a holiday. There was another guy in this area. We don't go there that often.
No.
But there was a guy in this area.
Kind of a sketchy area.
It wasn't too long ago, but he was a reseller. He was scanning on his phone. And he had grabbed a JanSport with the suede bottom backpack, which those usually sell okay for me. So, and he had a board game in this thing too. I didn't see what it was, but I'm sure it was probably good because he was scanning. I found a little bag full of craft stuff, and this was it. This is called the Angler 2 by Pam Bono. It's sealed. Saw it. I pulled out my little scanner, and I'm like, let me just scan it real quick just to see, because I figured he had found everything. Scanned it. This popped up at $45 with multiple sold. Now I couldn't really see that it was sealed because it was all in this bag and it was shut, but it looked like it was sealed, and there was a bunch of other stuff in there too. And the price, $1.99, but it turned out it was half off. So it was $1.99 half off, so it was only $1. So I spent $1, and this was just listed this past Friday. It's now Sunday, and it sold for
$45 shipped.
$45, exactly what it listed for, and it sold in a couple days. And the other stuff in there ended up listing another like $40 worth of stuff. Maybe more. So it ended up being a very good bag that he looked over. Just because other resellers are there doesn't mean they pick up everything you do, doesn't mean they know. And I'm not trying to bash him. I'm just saying everybody has a different thing. Look for different stuff. Their eye gravitates to different stuff. So don't just assume because a reseller's there, there's no way you can find anything. I also found another board game that sells for about $45. That was like $5. We found a Cuisinart that day that was $12, half off. It didn't have the blade, but it had the lid and the bowl. And we'll be able to part those out. It was only $6, and the base we can sell. There was quite a bit of stuff that I ended up finding that day to resell. DVDs, all kinds of stuff. So you never know.
Next up, we have Star Wars: The Force Unleashed for PSP, sold for $13 shipped.
This is a replacement case. I put on this one because the case was broken.
Next up, we have Written in Stone, Jesus of Nazareth on DVD, sold for $15 shipped. Then we've got Final Fantasy Explorers. It is a 3DS game, cartridge only. Sold for...
I didn't see that one. Did you grab that one?
No.
I didn't remember.
Oh, maybe I thought the Zelda one was it.
Okay, we have it. It's over there.
Yeah, but it sold for $15 shipped.
That one was $3. Same day I got the Zelda one.
Next up, we have a Kingwin USI Easy Clone USB HDD thing.
I think we all know what that means by now, but either way, this was $1.
And it sold for $28 shipped, and it is going global shipping
It was
program.
open, but it looked like it powered on and everything. It did power on, but it looked like it was in great shape, so $1 into 20 something.
There we go. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Xbox One, sold for $19 shipped.
I paid $5, sold for 19. The craziest thing, the dumbest thing, was I was looking this up, and I'm like, why can't I find it? There's like 3 that popped up because I spelled it wrong. I spelled Valhalla wrong, so that was a rookie move. I'm like, there's more of these games. It's not that rare. And then all of a sudden, there's like hundreds of them listed. So, but mine sold again within a couple days.
Next up, we have an AT&T cordless phone, the handset with the charger and battery, and those sold for $15 shipped.
And again, I don't sell a lot of these together anymore. If I buy the set, I'm pretty much just selling the bases. They're less risk of returns. Usually they're working. They go first class shipping, very light usually. So with the phones, you have more of an issue. The battery doesn't hold enough of a charge. It's not synced or whatever. So I did sell it, have these listed, but going forward, I'm really not selling the handsets unless they're super valuable. So that's just what I decided to do.
Then our last sale is out of the $700 manual buy. This is a 07 to 08 Honda CR-V manual, sold for $59.50 shipped. That's a big boy.
Yeah, that's a heavy one. So that's it, guys. That's all we got. Definitely sold a lot of good stuff here. Pretty cool. Doesn't look like any other things are popping up, so nothing else to show you guys. But you guys watching, and we will see you in the next video with what sells on Monday. And if you see the shadow on Linda's face, that's because she's fanning herself like a goddess, and she's super hot in more ways than one. Anyways, we'll see you guys later.